Right, morning. It is early. It is very, very early. Um, yeah, uh, this one's called COVID 1984. Very Orwellian. Very Orwellian. I'm just going to try and find some few bits and bobs so I can share with you. Um, whilst you're just piling in, I'm going to be sharing some stuff with you. And then we're going to have a look at, just bear with me. Nice to see you all. Lovely to see you. I don't expect too many in this morning, to be fair. I don't know why my thing shut down. Weird. Oh, that's all right then. So, let's see who we've got. 6. God, you're all up early. Tishy Giles. Hello, Tish. Lovely to see you, doll. Paul Anthony French. You all right, love? Adette Hamilton. All right, sweetheart. Oh, sweetheart. It's lovely this morning. Anyway, we're going to be talking about the Coronavirus Act. Bearing in mind, all these people are just actors on the world stage, coppers. They're just acts. They're acting. It's like Shakespeare said, the world's a stage. But they've moved on a little bit. There's a guy out there, I think he's a radio presenter, Alex Burfield. He's like, I've just got to clean my glasses. He's like, they've got this Coronavirus Act thing now, right? And I think a lot of there's going to be a point where all these people that were just acting out their wishes on men and women are going to be held accountable. I really do think so. It's gone beyond crazy now. If your kids at school test positive for the COVID 1984, then they can be taken without your consent. All right, to a detention centre, and hopefully you'll get to see him again. That's not right without your consent. That's not how democracy works. Whatever this democracy is, it just doesn't work like that. If you have a proper, true democracy, which is a Greek philosophy, it's a Greek system. It's not English. It's not British. We used to have a thing in Albion. We've had all sorts. We've had laws of Maometime. We've had so much. We've had the rule of law, and we need to get back to the rule of law. Early birds, yeah. I just wanted to pop in this morning and talk to you guys. Apparently now they can also demolish a house if anyone is tested positive for the COVID 1984. Look. People are living in houses today in this great country where people lived and died of the plague. Yes, there's still houses here today that people died of the plague. All right, we're not knocking them down, are we? We're not knocking them down. Where is the common sense? You know, it don't make sense. So let's have a little bit of screen and share. Let's see where we're going with this. I'm not on here for long this morning, guys. I've got to go out and do some bits. But I was up very early this morning. I was up at 20 to 7, and I thought I've got to come to you people and have a little chat. So you should be able to see that screen now. I haven't got anything over here at the minute. So is their act, which what I want you to understand is everything that Adolfo did in Germany in the 1930s, he put through his parliament. Okay. So this is the COVID 1984 Act of 2020, and in here it is power to require information relating to blah authorities which may require information. This is disgraceful, and if you look all the way in it, by the way, all this furlough stuff that everyone's been on is going to be stopping very soon. There's going to be all sorts of troubles. Let me just try and find the thing where it says about knocking down houses. Well, you can look this up for yourself. Powers to suspend and revive provisions of this act. Their acts of parliament are very dangerous, and it's getting ever so more dangerous every single day. Okay, and I want to just show you something here. I should be able to find this. I want to give you some information. This is a post I put up this morning, right? COVID-1984 kills 56 folk per day globally. Your country's been shut down for this. I smell a huge elephant in the room. So I'm just going to go on my profile page and I want to show you the photo that I shared this morning. I should be able to find it. There's Panos. He's a dude, he is. My darlings, are we going to stand or are we going to kneel? It's true. Right, so let's just click on this. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's my mate Kevin David there. So look, diseases, deaths per day worldwide. Okay. So this is, I want you to pay attention to this, all right, because our government has gone into meltdown. I'm going to start at the top. We have globally per day, tuberculosis kills 3,014 people per day. Hepatitis B kills 2,430. Pneumonia kills 2,216. Tuberculosis is an airborne. And why are we not knocking houses down for tuberculosis? Malaria, HIV and AIDS still kills 2,110 people a day. Malaria, 2002. Shingleosis, 1,644. Rotavirus, which is, I think, coronavirus, COVID-1984, is to do with, it's a rotavirus of some description. So I could be wrong. Seasonal flu, 1,027. So the seasonal flu, my lovers, that all the old people get, bless them, gets on their chest, gives them pneumonia, whatever it is. So the seasonal flu kills 1,027, and the seasonal flu usually turns into pneumonia, which is what the 1984 does as well. That turns into pneumonia, although it does attack the lungs a little bit more aggressively. There are supplements you can take. You've got hydroxychloroquine, which is used for malaria, which they've been using for over 40 years, and zinc. So get some zinc into you. So we've got whooping cough. Whooping cough. Well, Novavirus. Yeah, look, Novavirus, which is vomiting bug, kills most children in poorer countries. Kills 548. Whooping cough, 440. Typhoid, which is a nasty, 396. Cholera, 392. Meningitis, which is just a wicked thing, makes the inflammation of the brain, the barrier around the brain, makes it all swell up and pressurizes your brain. It's a nasty business. So we still have globally 329 people dying of meningitis per year. Measles still kills 247 people a day. Rabies, that rabies stuff, we all foam from the mouth and look like Michael Jackson out of a Thriller video, is 162. You do all that in that. Yeah, rabies. So rabies is killing 162 people a year. We've got yellow fever. Yeah, 82. And then you get down to this thing, which my country's been shut down. Asda's staff kicked out my mate yesterday for not wearing a mask and marched him out like Gestapo jackboots. They've weaponized our food, by the way. All our food now is weaponized. You've got to pay the premium for it. Mouse suggests you'll start growing your own fruit, veg, and herbs. Leishmaniasis, I've got no idea what that is. That's a parasite disease infecting millions in poorer countries. NG fever kills 50. Hepatitis A, that kills 20. Chicken pox, 10. Sleeping sickness, 10. Ebola kills 5.3. Now, I don't know who's putting up the 0.3 of their body per day. Maybe it gets you over a period of a week. Who knows? 7 3s are 25. I don't know. 2 and 2 plus. Well, 2 and 2 will never make 5, and that's what they're trying to make this COVID-1984. To my understanding, they're trying to make 2 and 2 plus 5. It ain't never happening. So let's just go back to this coronavirus. Why are you? No, I don't want that, do I? You should. Why has that gone to Facebook? I had that coronavirus thing up here a second ago. Let's have another go. Coronavirus Act 2020. I don't know why that's shut down. So this is on legislation.gov.uk. Main provision. Let's see if we can get into a bit of a nuts and bolts of this while I've got time. I'm just wary of the time. Wary of the time. I've got to get going in a minute. Temporary modification of mental health and mental capacity. They love mental health, don't they? If you don't subscribe to the mainstream narrative, there are a couple of things you can actually use. One of them is these are their laws, but they're covenants, and it's what this country signed up and agreed to as a worldwide initiative. And that's the International Covenant of Civil and Political Rights of 1966-67, which is a covenant, is stronger than law, which means you have the right to be private, you have the means to, live your life how you wish and not take part in any society structure, etc., etc., etc. So that's a great one. And obviously the Universal Declaration of Rights, the Convention Rights is another one, Articles 6 and 9, they're very, very powerful, which says you have the right to privacy, you have a right to live, blah, blah, blah. And I've known a few people to use them, and they've just knocked it out because they can't go against that covenant. They're just not allowed to, because they ratified it and they signed up to it. Okay, and it is still it is just a covenant is more powerful than any act of Parliament. So they are talking in this. If I could get into the nuts and bolts of it, I'm not too sure of what section it is. Medical certificates for cremations. I mean, they've taken the coroner out of it. If you died of jumping off a beachy head today, you'd go down as COVID 1984, and you'd be put into a double-lined body bag, whatever that is, and taken off to the incinerator. No coroner, no nothing. They've really subverted this country, ladies and gentlemen, in such a way as you really want to be paying attention. New Zealand, I'm aware that New Zealand's going to be going into a full proper lockdown soon, and they've had something like 4 confirmed cases, not deaths, and New Zealand is going to go into a full military lockdown very, very soon, and that's quite been confirmed. But within this Coronavirus Act, if any of you, I might get into this a little bit more later today when I have a bit more time. It does say in here that they have the right to take your children, put them into a detention centre for 14 days while they assess them. And who's to say you're going to get your children back? This is without consent. That's not how a democracy works, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry, it is not how a democracy works. A democracy is supposed to work where your consent is God, okay? Extension of time limits for retention of fingerprints and DNA profiles. This is Joseph Mengele stuff. I'm sorry, but whoever's writing this stuff up has got to be working for the dark side as far as I can see. So I would be very, very wary of this, to be fair. This chat just proves the medical industry and laboratory gene manipulation has done its job in killing the human form. Well, they've tried to, Tish, but there's a lot of us. Look, I personally think that there's so many people waking up now every day due to, well, look at my hairs, I've stood right up this morning. I don't normally do that. I don't know if I plugged myself into my electric supply. I'm not sure. So yeah, that's the Coronavirus Act, which apparently now they can come in and not bulldoze your house, just flatten it. What? Can someone tell me what that's about? Does fumigation not work? Does what's all that about? What's all that about? What's all this mask stuff about? Can someone tell me what all that mask stuff is about? Magna Carta still stands today. It's still law. I'm Bendale. Yeah, it does. I want to make one clarification though. Magna Carta, I've studied that for a long time. There was 4 charters, and the one, if you really want to use one that's got cheese and juice on top, is the 1217 Magna Carta, because all the others were signed under duress. Okay, you had the 1215, 1217, 1225, and 1297, and the 1217 was signed and sealed by William the Marshal, first Earl of Pembroke, who was regent to King Henry III. and it was done with everyone's blessing. They don't knock Downing Street. Exactly. So Boris has been took off, right? Boris looks like Boris Johnson went down with it, hangs out of Downing Street, and are they going to knock that down? See, it's all one-sided, isn't it? Personally, I think they're going to go after the private people in private houses that own their own homes to try and bulldoze them down, so everyone has to go into social housing, this, that, the other. I mean, we're in a fucking right mess, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry, but we really are. So that's my theory. And I also want to put this caveat in. I don't know for sure, but I like to bring to your attention what goes on in this country, all right, so that you can make your own informed decisions. Now, there was quite a few people quite a few years ago going around sharing videos of these that look like internment camps in this country, where they were all fenced off. There was buildings inside, and they looked like they had sort of gun towers, not manned obviously, but they had high towers so people could look out and over. And they were manned by the police. Now, I think the police is the military. If you ask me, I think the police in this country is military. I think they are a section of the army. Just look at them. They're more militarized than the army now. So they are the army in blue uniform, the Ku Klux Klan. So I'd be very cautious of these people because they don't know what is morally right or wrong. I'm sorry to say that, but they don't. They're only interested in business money, and following orders. And we've really got to be careful. So I always wondered how they might get people into these places of their own free will, or just take them there on the premises of whatever. I'm hoping that there would be an uprising in this country and a takedown of these narcissists before that ever happened. But this could be the Coronavirus Act of 2020 could be the catalyst of how they start filling these places. Who knows? I don't know. But as you see, we've got 56 cases globally per day of coronavirus. And then they're talking about detaining your kids without your consent. That's not democracy. That's the totalitarian tiptoe. And knocking properties down, bulldozing them if you test positive for corona. And the local authorities, the German Bosch are talking about coming down and whacking your ass down. No more walking surgeries, and the dentist won't help. I am seeing so many people having their hospital appointments cancelled. My friend yesterday, who had ulcerative colitis just before Christmas, he was due to have a little op to check out what was going on. That's been cancelled. My friend Steffi down the road, who was she was due to go and have a consultation regarding an op. That's been cancelled. She's fuming. She's going mental. I have Lord knows what is going on within the National Health Service. I don't know. But all I know is they got plenty of time for TikTok videos. They got plenty of time for getting on them beds and looking like they're rowing down the road and all the nurses are flying. Drives me mad. It twists my melons. It proper twists my melons because there's no respect in that. In 1918, 1916, when the Spanish flu took 50 million people, there was someone shared a picture the other day of an ambulance. Back then, they used to carry material stretchers, put bodies on material stretchers, and there was probably Land Army nurses or nurses loading up these trailers and trucks with probably living people with Spanish flu or the dead. They were very humble, very respectful of life. They certainly might have gone home and they got drunk and, to try and forget what's gone on during the day. I understand that because there are a lot of things in this world you shouldn't see. And maybe the only way of dealing with that is to unwind with a glass of wine, playing a bit of music and just trying to get it out of your head that way. But to blatantly be flogging us, the people, with these TikTok videos is just, for me, it's not right. I'm not suggesting nurses can't be happy and nurses can't do what they want to do in their spare time. That's up to them. But to be flaunting it and to have the time to do that tells me that they're not busy. Personally, I think it could be the NHS maybe letting us know that they're not busy. Maybe it is just their way of letting us all know that this is a bit of a con. That's how I see this. They take the children if you refuse a test. They will go in foster care See, there's got to be at some point an uprising. I think that this coronavirus thing will be the apple that tips the cart. I do. I genuinely believe if they push hard with this corona pandemic, 1984 scamdemic, I truly believe that that this could be the thing that tips the scale of balances in this country, because that's never right. Your children are your children. They're given to you from God. They're not created by a government, are they? You create your children, not government. But they unlawfully convert us, and it's a planned trespass. They trespass on us at birth. It's certainly an unlawful conversion of us, and it's just sick. It's a planned trespass. They plan to convert us into their slavery-based system. It's got to stop. It's got to stop. The police have been having army training. Civvy bobbies have been having police training. We'll just look at the levels of violence they mete out now. All for what? A piece of paper. You've not got an MOT. Piece of paper. You've not got an insurance policy. Just a piece of paper. You've not got a driving license. It's a piece of paper. Just a piece of paper. But these people they're just following orders. They don't know no different, but they should do. Their morality should tell them, oh, hang on a minute, what's going on? Unknowing public. Well, maybe. I don't know. But I would urge you, we're going to get into it a bit later when I've got more time. I will find the sections of the Coronavirus Act that says they can bulldoze houses and take your kids and put them in confinement for 14. Can you just imagine how that must feel for a mother and father? Where do you honestly believe a child, your property, would want? Look, your kids are your property, and you're their property, because it's what property is defined as what is proper to man. Okay, so your kids are your property. Your wife is your property. It's what is proper to man. Don't be scared of these words. Lawfully is a very powerful word, because when you go and get married, you're lawfully wed, not legally wed. And the thing is, with marriage, it's a covenant. You're making a promise to God. You're not making a promise to the society, the bar society. So even if you legally get divorced, in the eyes of God, you're still married, because you swore to God. You did. You swore to God that you take this woman for better, for worse. And in this book, it says, with this ring I thee wed. It doesn't say with this government contract and piece of paper I thee wed, does it? I've been screaming at this bill while people were screaming about 5G. I think we should be protesting against the coronavirus. Protesting don't work. I'm sorry to say, protesting don't work. The only thing that will work now is direct action with positive outcomes. So what happens now is the people have to be like an arrow. The whole people need to be the arrow. They need to have an arrowhead. They need to focus. They need to plunge that arrowhead right where they want to see it, and they have to take back control. If not, I'm sorry, but it's game over. It's lost. I can't come to terms with the fact that my granddaughter could be taken, placed into internment for 14 days. I don't even know how she would cope with that, and it makes my skin crawl just thinking about that they could take my granddaughter from my daughter if they deem she tested positive. And we know that their tests are unspecific, they're not correct. I think they're just making this up as they go along. So we absolutely have the right to sack Parliament. As you know, many of you know, I'm a constitutionalist. I studied the constitution of this country for a long time. I've got books on the rule of law. We could get into that at some other point. And what we have right now, trust me, ladies and gentlemen, is not the rule of law. Because with the rule of law, it's the people that are important. It's the people that are powerful, not government. Government is a very quiet, small thing. And when you have this big government and they're making everything centralized, they're taking all your local little satellite hospitals and police stations away and making everything proper central. That's communism. I'm sorry, that's fascism, communism. and they're all working together. All these countries are working together in this common theme. That's communism. When every country, when China, we implemented the same rule for Corona, COVID-19 84 as the Chinese. Well, China's a communist country. England isn't. England is a land of the free, apparently. No, it's not true about protests. No, that's true about I didn't mean. I know what you mean. Yeah, I do know what you mean. I'm just getting a bit. I'm getting a bit frustrated, in as much as I don't think people truthfully see what is coming. No member of your family should ever be taken into quarantine against their will and wish and consent, and never your children either, or your grandchildren should never be taken away from the state. It's a disgusting thing to witness. We see the police taking kids off of families through social services. They're the devil's work. I'm sorry, but they are the devil's work. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go because I've got to go and do some stuff. I was just up early and I thought I'd bring to you the Corona Act 2020 and the actual figures per day of who's dying of what around this world. And tuberculosis is the daddy of killers. And I hope that early part of next year, everyone's kicking off as much about the flu turning up as they have been this COVID 1984. For me, it's a disgusting thing, the way that we're all being treated. And people have tossed away their freedoms and liberties so cheaply. They prefer the protection of the state and what the state can do for them rather than their own freedom and liberty. And that to me is just absolutely disgraceful. It's just outrageous. What we're saying, I listened to a bit of weird stuff where they said that the children are part of the plan. They want to take a lot with them. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting what goes on. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will come back to you probably later today. We'll get into the nuts and bolts. I will find the stuff within the coronavirus thing about bulldozing houses and taking your children and your family members and locking them up in detention centres where you'll have no contact, zero contact, no phone calls, no contact, no nothing. You won't know whether they're being molested. You won't know whether they've been killed. You won't know whether they've been abused. You won't know. It's disgusting. Have a lovely day, folks. Yes, and you, Shirley. Thanks for tuning in this morning, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you all for your patrimony to my channel. Please consider sharing. Talk to your friends and families. Please consider checking out Carl Vernon and Dr. Vernon Coleman on YouTube also, because they are a couple of very gorgeous individuals that are putting their neck on the line as well to get the truth out to you. So love and light. I'll see you all a little bit later today. Thanks for tuning in. Stay blessed as always, and I'll be back. Take care.